5, 4, 3, 2. All right, sorry.
Welcome to another episode of the illustrious Kayfabe Cowboys podcast. We've been gone for a bit, but we're back now. Like I'm stuttering and stammering because I'm older since the last time we've seen each other. I'm 40. I'm feeling every bit of it. I don't know how to work simple technology. I've been the butt of a lot of jokes prior to this thing going on the record status, but nonetheless, here we are. The wonderful world of black wrestling and black wrestling fans. It is the Kayfabe Cowboys podcast. I'm GA. The return of the junkyard dog is crazy, man. Everybody's coming out of the woodworks. It's fucking pandemonium. So also on the screen right now, introduce yourself and say something to the folks, brother legend.
First of all, I need to know that it sounds like a pit bull mixed with a chihuahua is outside right now. But it's good. I am legend. I'm back. Missed you guys. GA. I wanted to say something to you really quickly because you almost got replaced last Saturday when I got some news from our good brother Rashad. So you got replaced and I got good news. So I'm gonna pass it over to Shad.
Yo, this is Rashad. Right now I got my dog going off because my family's about to walk in and disrupt my whole life. So we got that going on. But yeah. Last week at Norfolk State Homecoming, Behold the Green and Gold.
You know it. Big state.
Yeah.
Set up a couple.
There's only one big state, but go ahead.
Virginia Tech?
No, Norcom State High School and University.
Exactly.
But go for it.
Anywho. So during that whole process, my family, during that whole process, we took a picture that kind of went low-key viral amongst the yard.
It did.
It did not.
That said that you were going to be replaced by our good brother, Sean. And then also, hey, boo. And then another thing is that we're setting up a collab podcast with Yes, We Still Watch Wrestling podcast. And so, not the scissor thing. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do all that.
Whoa.
But yeah, we're setting up a collab. So that's coming
Scissor
soon.
me.
Okay. Man, get kinky.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Hey, man, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give a shout out to AEW wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't do that here. But I've got the question of the day before Rashad tries to do it.
Oh, I had a good question to do. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go with your little question.
What? See,
that's your little question. The disrespect.
I want to know, how long do y'all think until WWE gives WrestleMania overseas?
I see it happening within the next 5 years.
Yeah, I think they're gonna try to do London. Probably they doing Las Vegas next year, Indianapolis the year after that, I believe. So I believe they're gonna try to do London either that following year or the year after that. So probably like within 3 to 4 years, 3 to 5 years, I see it.
Just the way that crowd was going crazy today in the pre-show, I was like, oh yeah, we don't appreciate like they do. So
No.
All right, now you can go ahead with your little regular question.
With your little question.
All right, so question. So if WWE had a nightclub
Oh shit.
that played only theme music,
Okay.
which song would you have to hear before the night is up?
All right, so this nightclub, what's the overall, what's the target demographic in this nightclub? Because it could change my answer.
White male, 18 to 45.
Pretty much.
Shit. For me, I mean, I feel like I don't want to go with an easy pick, because an easy pick would definitely be like HBK's theme. Like I could be, Sexy Boy would be dope. But if I want to go with something a little bit more obscure to get into the niche wrestling fan, give me Aleister Black's theme.
Okay, I ain't mad at that.
I need that some that hard rock metal vibe. You know what I'm saying? You made it tougher to be good. You made it tougher to be evil. Man, that shit rock, dog.
I don't even remember that part, but yeah.
Oh, don't worry, you'll hear it.
All right.
All right. My easy answer would have to be Seth Rollins. Like that. That just
Mm.
goes hard.
Mm.
But if I'm going to take it back, you know what? One song, and I will never admit this outside of this moment, that used to get me hype was Tatanka's music.
To tank top. Okay.
That after he hit the Indian call, which I will not do because y'all not canceling me. Um, that doom 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 that hey,
I only remember that from the old Super Nintendo video game. So
hey, that's fine. If I was going, if we were, because DJs have those sets. So if we in that like mid '90s set, I'm like, yo, if we leave here and he don't hit that Tatanka, I'm gonna be pissed off. So I'm gonna
Yo.
go with that one.
I'm just thinking about what would be their Rockefeller set, the Rockefeller Bad Boys set.
That has to be like a heel set, like
Yeah.
a angry heel set, or like a headbangers. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, one of them.
I
What
think
you
for
got?
me, I would have to hear one of my favorite wrestling theme and entrance of all time is Batista's "I Walk Alone."
Great
Mm.
choice.
I have that on my phone right now. Like it's it's
Bautista.
nasty. Yeah. Batista.
But this the shit. Why is somebody calling me? I'm trying to play this music. Y'all hear it?
Yeah.
Don't give us more than 10 seconds though. Pause.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming. Wait till this shit drop. This shit crazy. And then when the guitars hit and he would rise up, crazy.
Okay. Okay. Cut it so you get a stroke.
Yeah. Okay.
We got to cut half of this.
This is an audio experience, but you just kind of
Yeah, you're gonna get a. Yeah. We got to cut half of that. And when I say we, I mean Rashad.
Yeah.
But anyway, y'all know what I'm saying? Y'all know the vibes. You know what I'm saying?
So you
Like,
want that white heavy metal. Got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pause.
Nope.
Pause.
Okay.
Yeah. So
right,
what we got for this week?
So the obvious starting point for me, is first and foremost, I'm gonna do something that I was dreading that I was gonna have to do. I've grown accustomed to having the shades. I feel like it fits my aesthetic, but I have to do what I said I was gonna do. I was gonna wear them as long as Jey Uso was the Intercontinental Champion. So I have to remove the shades. It's a sad day. The Yeet has died. Brett screwed Brett. Die, Rocky, die. So many bad things have happened, but here we are. But I'm glad I got to take the shades off because I want people to see my eyes right now because I'm pissed off, man. Like,
Why are you pissed off?
Shadrick, brother legend, you all know that I'm a huge Montez fan. Angelo Dawkins, he gets in there as well, pause. But the fact that WWE is continuing to play in our faces like this and not reward the Street Profits for the bang-up job they're doing in the ring, the charisma that Montez Ford has, not to be confused with Montel Jordan, but this is how we do it. I am so upset that they are not going to put the straps, pause, on the Street Profits. They're doing some of the best work of their career. They are out there with I'm the president of the BFAB fan club. She's doing some of her best work as being a valet. Montez Ford is gold. He's cash money. He can sell merch. He can sell product. He has his own TV show with his wife, damn it. And they won't they put the belt on the Motor City Machine Guns. Like, really? They just walked in, took the belt off of the Bloodline. Like, come on, bro. Like, the Street Profits have history with the Bloodline. They got cheated out of the last time they had a match with them, but they ain't allowed them to run it back. I'm sick of this shit, dog. Like, the fact that everybody on Twitter is talking about the fact that WWE they're glossing over the black talent. They're not putting them in prominent positions to do major things. And you don't put the straps on the Street Profits. You bring in the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't have a problem with the Motor City Machine Guns, but in this particular arena, they shouldn't have been the one taking the straps off the Bloodline. Like, if Montez Ford doesn't continue the gimmick of being pissed off and saying that they don't fit the look, I'm gonna be highly upset. But I'm fucking pissed off, man. So anybody in creative that happens to see this right now, like, 2 of these loaded up. These are my Motor City Machine Guns, man. fuck creative right now. I'm pissed off. I mean, it makes no sense, dog. I'm pissed, bro. Damn.
And I don't mean to laugh at you, but you gave us a lot to deal with right there.
That's what she said.
You kind
I,
of walked into that one.
I did.
Yeah.
Because I thought we were going to dive deeper into Jay first. Pause. God, jeez. All right. You know what?
Hey.
Okay, we'll come back to Jay. Montez's rant without words on Instagram might have been the most powerful thing I've seen since Cody Rhodes and The List. And I'm going to tell you why. At first, it was simply Motor City Machine Guns winning the championship, the D-Wade shaking his head, and the mask taking off of the mask of the character.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was going to go any further, and maybe he went further just so that it wasn't as obvious. But then he added Pretty Deadly, which I can't remember the last time they were relevant. He added
Have they ever been?
DIY, Baron Corbin, part of WWE Cuts. Oh, wow. Tegan Knox and Indy Hartwell. Wow. Okay. Just came through.
Hold on. They cutting people?
Yeah. Tegan Knox, Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell? Wait, what? It's on Twitter. I'll check it after I finish my thought. And
That's fucking crazy. We need a ticker at the bottom of the screen.
that must mean that they're done with that picks. All right. Anyway, but the silence that he had, where I can't tell if it's a work or real life. This is the second time in, I would say, like the last 6 months or so that somebody has come in from a different organization straight to the championship. I have a problem with that. They did it in NXT. They now done it with the tag team championships. And I don't understand how you're telling me that the Motor City Machine Guns, while a great tag team, I have no beef with them, beat the Bloodline after a battle with DIY. I think that's who they faced.
Mm-hmm.
So they're that much better, is what you're telling me? These small guys who don't look menacing at all, let's be serious,
They don't.
are better than the Bloodline.
I can't wait for Shaw to talk about it.
Yeah, it pissed me off when I saw it because I was like, wait, I thought it was a setup to make them lose the belts. I mean, keep the belts for the Bloodline even longer. I understand how they tried to connect them losing the belts with them taking the belt from Jay as a big storyline. That feels rushed. But Shad, how do you feel?
So me and Jerry Kinks over there had a conversation early this week. And even though I don't agree with his Montez take, because I don't really want what's best for the Street Profits. I want what's best for Montez, and that I mean as far as like they need to be separate. They need to split up, and then Montez and because them together just means that they're going to win titles again, which doesn't really do anything at all for me. Like I've seen it, I'm cool with it. They can go their separate ways and just come back later or what. So I don't feel you on that part, but as far as the Motor City Machine Guns, a couple things with that. First, they win the championship in 3 matches, 2 weeks. I feel like that doesn't do anything for them, but it also doesn't do anything for the other teams. And the reason I say that is because they're not necessarily flashy. They're not necessarily big where you'd be like, oh, I can see why they won the title. They just, they're not even young. Like they got old faces, young bodies. So like their moves aren't like I used to watch them like back like 10, 15 years ago when they were at TNA and just kind of kept, they just started, but they were way better back then. Now they just look old. They still a little bit quick, but they move slow. Like
The
so, there's
finisher
nothing.
sucks.
Yeah, the finisher isn't. Yeah, and so the things that they're doing now isn't the greatest. So it's like it kind of handicaps the whole division when you just go in and throw the belts on them. And on top of that, they're not open. Like I can see if they, came in, had a whole bunch of fair, people were talking about them, all that stuff, but nobody really gives a damn. Like, to be quite honest with you.
Did they even have a pop when they came out?
Nah, not really.
No.
Not really.
It seemed like the people that responded to it was like, like diehard, like wrestling fans that are they're watching, they're scraping Twitter to see all the indies matches and stuff like that. It was like, I mean, it was a few people that reacted, but like the way that they debuted them, like you would have thought that like just having them come out there, like the roof was supposed to blow off of that place.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
they didn't do like and I don't, you know, I don't want to poo-poo on them too much because they're only a product of the creative that they're given. But like, why weren't there like vignettes given about them coming or pause?
They had one, I think.
They had like a
like
car driving through
A car
like
driving through
Detroit or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
but what the hell is that? Like you could do that on NXT because
Yep.
NXT is developmental. Like everybody there is, you know what I mean, for the most part, a little unknown until they get on NXT TV. But like to bring them on SmackDown, like they should have done some vignettes or some highlight packages of them or like on the indies or in TNA, because I'm pretty sure they have access to the TNA archive of footage.
They
like
do.
they didn't do anything to possibly get people excited. And like Shad said, like I'm not overall like enthused about their move sets as a tag team. Like it's meh.
You could have put Pretty Deadly. If you were going to do that, you could have put the belts on Pretty Deadly. At least we know these guys.
I think you could have put the belts back on DIY if you really wanted to go that route. Like, even though, like, I feel like Machine Guns and DIY are kind of like in the same boat. Like, they did the same thing with DIY. They had them win titles, like, not necessarily in a fluky way, but they won it for like 2 weeks and then lost. And I feel like the same thing is probably going to happen to the Machine Guns too. Like, and nobody's going to care because they weren't over. DIY wasn't over when they won the titles.
Right.
Machine Guns are not over now. Like, it just going to do the same thing.
What does that do for them to win the title in their third match and then lose it in a month or two? That does nothing for them more than not having the belts. But I think that the bigger conversation here is what's being ignored with the glossing over of the black athlete. I looked the other day at the champions in WWE. It's Cody Rhodes. It's Gunther. It is Nia Jax, who's Samoan and related to The Rock. It is, who's the women's? Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
The tag team champs who haven't defended are Irish. Now you have these two. Where LA Knight and the Intercontinental is now Braun Breaker.
Wait a minute, Jade and Bianca still the women's tag champs though.
They are the women's tag team champs, but here's the thing, and I know we're going to kind of gloss over this for right now because of when we're filming. The last time Jade and Bianca were not champions was when they lost their belt in a triple threat match, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do they have tomorrow?
They got a four-way.
A fatal four-way.
Oh, yeah.
If the belts get pulled off of them again...
Who the four in that match? It's them. It's
Chelsea
them.
and Piper.
Yeah.
Io and Kyrie, and then Lash Legend and the other black girl.
Jakara Jackson.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't be mad if they pulled the move to put the straps on Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. But with them being overseas with the international crowd, they're probably gonna go with Damage Control taking it.
I can see that. But even if they do put it, and here's the thing, I'm not saying put it on black athletes because they're black athletes. Montez is a star. If you're not going to keep him or put the belt around him, let him go. People keep forgetting that you can separate from a team and not have beef.
That's right.
Street Profits can still be the Street Profits, but Montez can be a solo champion. He could be IC. He could beat Braun.
He can be LA Knight, to be honest with you.
He can definitely be LA Knight.
Yeah.
But I also think that they won't take the belt off of Braun because I don't know if they know what to do with him. But again, I don't think Lash and them are quite there yet, but they fine.
Yeah, but that's a prominent spot for them to be in, and I don't want to dive too much into that, but they're doing some great work by being able to like go to multiple shows and look good in every spot. And I'm pissed off that the first match that they had, which could have been a fucking banger with them, Bianca and Jade, they had to take the fall to the Kevin Owens storyline, and they got 2 minutes in the ring.
Yep.
You could tell that Jade and Bianca were mad about that shit.
Well, that's what happens when you have these 2-hour shows. Everything is rushed.
That joint is great. Like, you had so many other places in the show for that angle to happen, but the big women's match you have on the card has to suffer for it. Like, that's the shit that I didn't like. And then on top of that is 4 black women in the joint too. So it only feeds the fuel to the Twitter storm that's saying that they don't care about black athletes. So
yeah, and I'm not trying to Ryan Clark this respectfully because I thoroughly enjoy Ryan, but I want, we're all here for representation. Like, we had a Puerto Rican as a champion. That was great. You know, he went to the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Like, I'm not saying that every black athlete deserves a belt, but you can't tell me out of all of our champions, and I'm not even counting the Samoans when I say all of our champions, because while it's adjacent, but like, where all of them folks that you got, come on now. And we just lost another belt in NXT with the women.
Yeah, Kalani Jordan.
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but I'm not all the way upset with that one just because what's Shorty name? With Fatal Influence.
I'm not mad at it.
Henley or something like that.
Fallon,
yeah, they've been doing good work. So I ain't all the way upset with that one.
I'm just saying the thought pattern is every time we get a belt, even with Jet. So
if you're looking at stats, you know what I'm saying, like it's one that we lost. You know what I mean? So I ain't But you know, shout out to Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, man. They're doing amazing work, and I think I might end up being the president of that fan club as well.
How many fan clubs you gonna have?
As many hats as I have in the closet, brother. Like you know what I'm saying.
You're a man of many hats.
I'm a man of many hats.
You keep a gang of hats.
I keep a gang of hats, and I have the bandwidth to be able to handle all of these fan clubs. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody black. I'm rooting for everybody black.
Thank you,
all right. So I feel like I might have asked y'all this question before, but no, matter of fact, this is a different question. If you had to put a realistic timetable on when does Montez go solo, when do you think it happens?
You go first, Les.
You know what? And I know this is not gonna happen, but the perfect time would be the Rumble. Here's the reason why I say it's not gonna happen, because they need to push John Cena before he gets up out of here. They need to push Roman back, even though I really don't feel like Roman needs the belt, especially right now. He's red hot. A Mania win for Montez Ford, the roof.
Talking about the Rumble, right?
I'm sorry, yeah. Rumble win, and I mean from like a 6 spot. Like, I want him to be in the match, not like 27, 20. I want him to be in the match, you know, and fight through. I don't care if it's him and Punk at the end. So he got to put out a player. Him and Roman. So the top 3. I mean, the final 4 could be Montez, Roman, Punk, Cena, and somehow Montez come out on top.
As you're talking and you're saying that, like, it's crazy. I think you were listening to me and Shad the other day, but remember I said I would like to see, you know, the Street Profits like be so overall upset with it, and Montez was like, "Yo, man, I'm out. Like, I'm done. I'm gone," and he just leaves, and then he comes back at the Rumble and wins the Rumble. Like, that could be his way to, you know, be catapulted into the main event picture. But like, saying what you're saying there, let's say it's those 4 left, and then it ends up just being Montez and Roman left.
Okay.
Roman could end up getting eliminated through due to bloodline interference. It protects Roman, and it still makes Montez look major. It forwards that bloodline storyline, and Montez comes out in a prominent spot, man. Like, I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
I do you one better, because elimination still has to take place. The whole looking over the ropes, forgetting I'm in a match, Montez rolls him over the top because Solo or somebody or The Rock is at, you know, that whole distraction, like they forget they're in a match. That way it's like, wait, I lost. I got that whole thing. So it's like, you didn't win, but you still won. That's what needs to happen. But I don't see it because, you know, Triple H.
Yeah, I feel like for me, if I was actually booking it, I would have it where I feel like to get the most out of everything, I would do it where there's like issues brewing over the next couple of months leading to Mania. And they probably do one of those like 6-team ladder matches or something like that. And that's when it kind of culminates, like them not winning the titles at WrestleMania, and then Montez turning on Angelo at Mania to lead to, after that, him being like a major player.
That's another 6 months though. Like, I just think about injuries when I think about a timeline that long. And I also don't want them to lose another title match. Like, they've been getting screwed. That ladder match should have been, if nothing else, if you're gonna put the belts on Motor City, because that had to be a plan, let them win that title match.
Yeah.
And let the bloodline cost the titles from, so that the bloodline's still involved, like, because that's your bread and butter. I just don't want them to lose another tag match. They start to become jobbers at that point, and they're. I mean, we already look at Dawkins respectfully a certain way. So.
Yeah, because like if they continue to lose, at what point does it get to like we're no longer gonna care because they're constantly the one that takes the fall? So
like Kofi and
they've been losing for like the last 2 years.
Yeah, they haven't had a belt in 2-3 years. Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. And the only thing that's saving them is the fact that Montez is so charismatic and B-Fab's out there.
I really don't get your fascination with B-Fab, to be quite honest with you.
Hey, man. Hey, dog. What's understood doesn't need to be explained, baby.
I feel you today, dog.
I think Montez has been carrying that team. They tried to make him heels. That didn't work. They also saw how horrible Dawkins looked in his suits. So they switched that up.
No, they tried to make them heels, but still had them coming out to that music. Like, if you gonna turn somebody heel like they normally do in wrestling, they change the music up. Something like you got to change the whole presentation. But I think that goes back to like some of Bobby Lashley's frustrations, the fact that they had a great idea, but they wouldn't allow them to commit to it. Because I was almost buying into them being badasses and being heels, and then they came out with red cups the following week. I was like, man, come on, dog.
Yeah,
because the audience would not boo. It was just like when they tried to do it to Bianca. Again, another black athlete. So, that was a hell of a question. I like that one.
Yeah. So, all right, what's next on the docket?
All right, so I'm thinking, what do we see happening now that my shades have been removed? What do we see happening with the Jey Uso, Roman Reigns timeline with with the bloodline? Like, what are y'all thoughts? Where do y'all see this going? Because as we're recording this, SmackDown comes on in an hour and a half.
Recorded SmackDown, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine that Roman's already apologized to Jey at this point.
Right.
So if assuming that's what happens, like what are we expecting that to come from that in the very near future?
Did that whole thing seem rushed? And then I'll let you go, Shad. That seemed rushed to me, didn't it? The reunion between the Usos.
I thought they were going to at least kind of stretch that out for a couple weeks.
Okay, I mean maybe they just didn't have time because they added this random match in. But go ahead, Shad. My bad.
Yeah, I feel like for me, so Crown Jewel tomorrow. We ain't gonna really get into that because I feel like it's very inconsequential. But I feel like it's really just gonna lead to Sammy joining up with them, and then them facing the new bloodline at War Games. And I feel like Rock is not gonna be involved in that, but he's gonna maybe come out at the end. He might distract somebody that leads to the new bloodline winning. But I feel like that's gonna kind of lead to Rock Roman at Mania. That's gonna be like the starting point for that.
Okay.
And it's crazy. One thing I peeped out is that they still haven't given us Solo and Roman yet. So I'm not sure if they're kind of saving that match or they just realized that Solo is not a big enough deal for Roman at this point.
I think they realized that after the Cody Solo match, like they had to make that a cage match on SmackDown for it to be worth something. But one thing and I saw it on the internet, so again, this is not my take. Solo posted a picture of him and Sammy, and it said something along the lines of "always been my oos," something like that. And then recently, I saw a video where Jay, when Jay and Solo, Sammy weren't getting along. So, where they were back and forth, and Solo eased up off him. As like a long-term storytelling where it's just like, oh, is this actually going to be Solo on that side? It was a little bit too obvious that they showed it, but I wonder if Sammy is being pulled from both sides, so he stays completely out of it.
So did you see the footage from outside of the arena where Jimmy and Jay were outside of the arena and they saw Sammy talking to Solo?
Yeah.
Which is a great meme. It's amazing.
Somebody put the Family Matters music on there when they turned around. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think, of course, Sammy's gonna end up explaining, that he's he's trying to be the peacemaker, but ultimately not taking sides. But I think Solo's going to push him to have to take the other side.
Question: did anybody else feel like, and I feel like, and maybe I'm pushing it, when Solo saved Jay from the spear, right? He pushed him out of the way when the day he lost his belt.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
What if they try to spin a story where Solo was actually there to support Jay, and the other members of the bloodline caused the friction? Like that super kick was not why they were out there. Because again, he saved him from a spear that he didn't need to save him from. It's like, no, I was there for you. But I just happened to think about that momentarily. But I think that I still don't believe Solo as the leader. I think that's my thing.
Yeah,
There's
I
got
never
to be
believed
something
him.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the parties that are involved in the current storyline, the money match is Roman Jacob. It's not Roman Solo.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think they're gonna have to be like real careful to try to find a way to protect Solo from not looking like he's the leader.
I think that's why they're gonna have to bring in The Rock to make sure that he's like the bigger boss, or the final boss.
Right.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Solo's lost the last 3 matches. He lost the one against Cody. He lost the rematch against Cody, and he took the pin in that tag team match. So he's the weakest link out of all of them.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like they still have to give us that one-on-one match, even if it's not.
It has to happen.
Even if it's like at that the Raw on
So for
Netflix.
day one, yeah, day one,
the Raw on Netflix joint, yeah. So I feel like that might be the perfect place to do something like that, because it's not a big enough deal to be headlining any pay-per-view to me anyway.
Not. And what's up with all of these? There's no show loyalty. Have y'all noticed that over the past couple weeks? Niggas just show up where they feel like. I like it. I like it, but it's weird when you start talking about that Raw on Netflix. It's like, so are there shows now? Is the champions the only people that can't? It's weird. I like it, but it's weird.
Yeah, if you've noticed, they ramp up that cross brand shit leading into pay-per-views.
True.
Like when there's not like a big pay-per-view like coming up that they're trying to like put momentum behind, like people tend to stay where they are. But then like you got Crown Jewel coming up, so they're trying to make that a big deal because they got that big ass belt. So they got, of course you got to cross brand the match between Cody and Gunther, and I hope Gunther like chops a hole in Cody Rhodes' chest because I hate his guts.
Yeah,
wow. But you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm not gonna go into it.
As you turn 40, you should like remove some of this hate that you have in your heart, brother.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Just
No, I'm 40. I'm set in my ways, bro. Like it's too late for me to change. Like
I'm
sorry.
That's also very fair. That's
you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Shad, when you get to this big age, man, you'll be set in your ways.
He's already set in his ways.
Possibly. So.
He's stubborn as hell now.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I just, again, we're avoiding tomorrow just because I don't think it's going to push any meaningful stories. It's weird. It's just weird because now what champion matters. But again, I think a lot of this needs to be fixed with more time. Rather, there's more time on the shows, more shows. Something has to change. Everything is being rushed. Stories aren't being told. They're feeling real AEW's right now. It's just matches for matches. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it'll all be solved at
War Games.
War Games.
I want to see them NXT women on a War Games.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's go into that because we don't be spotlighting NXT like we should.
Before you do that,
okay.
I want to say something because we talked about it the first episode on CW. I am glad that they're not trying to sell out those big venues like they did. I was terrified of that. I'm so glad.
Oh, next week they're gonna be at the ECW arena next week.
Yes,
but that's
I'm glad that they're
right.
The smaller venue,
right?
To make it seem like an event, which it is. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Now you go ahead.
They're doing the blueprint of what AEW should be doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to shit on AEW, but it's like, yo, pick your smaller venues
Sell
and
them hoes
pack
out.
them joints out. Like, make them look more exclusive. Make it hard for people to get in. Pause. Like, we like give the product on TV something where it's like, oh my gosh, like, yo, they stacked to the ceiling in that joint with fans.
Facts.
And then expand. Or like when you got like a big, you know, a big dynamite that you're putting emphasis on, then go to a big arena. Like the anniversary show, go to a big arena for that. But like instead of trying to do the Norfolk Scope, do the Ted Concert Center.
Yeah, do Ted.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go there. And then for the major joints, expand.
They didn't sell out Ted either. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, but anyway.
They can go to Willett Hall or something like that.
Hey, yo. Now, that would be a
Churchland High School.
Right.
Churchland High School's gym is huge anyway.
Put them at the casino.
Yeah, that promotion, yeah, that'd be dope. That promotion has to be bleeding money. Like, there's no way that they're turning a profit. But
go back because we got off course. The women of NXT.
Women of NXT.
Okay. All right. So if we look at, you know, apples to apples and we compare the women's card in NXT versus the women card of any other all AEW, Raw, SmackDown, that women's card in NXT trumps all of that shit. Like, they wash every other women's roster. Like, I don't see, like, you know what I mean? Okay, Rhea is Rhea. Bianca is Bianca. You know what I'm saying? Jade is still building. So I give us them three. Because, you know, Charlotte's not around. But I was kind of getting stale on Charlotte for a minute. Becky ain't what she used to be.
I don't miss them either.
But you look at somebody like Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, they amazing in the ring. They got a great look. And then Delta or Zarya just came in. She's the female. They're building her to be the female Brock Lesnar because she does an F5 as her finish.
She did 3 finishes in 10 seconds. That shit was fun.
Yeah.
Like, Kalani Jordan is getting better and better and better.
And then
you look at Lash Legend and Dakar Jackson. Even like their mid card women's division washes any other show.
Yeah.
Like, I hope at Survivor Series they could possibly do something where there's a War Games match between the NXT women and the main roster women. That would be
I think they have enough on NXT to do it NXT. Because here's the problem. If you have the NXT women beat the main roster, which they potentially could, it looks bad for the main roster. That's why I said NXT on NXT.
Yeah.
I'm with it too, but
because they had 10 women like do a standoff on the last joint. So
and that's what I'm talking about.
Because they got a 5-on-5 tag match at the ECW arena this coming Tuesday.
So I think even if they do like just a traditional Survivor Series match, I feel like that would be dope too.
Yeah. I'm loving what they're doing down there. Like, Shawn Michaels, like, he has whipped out all the ingredients. He's sprinkling parsley, oregano. He throwing a little paprika in that thing. Like, the main course of what he is cooking down there in the women's division is better than anything else is going on in wrestling on the women's side. And Sexy Boy needs to be commended for his work.
Yeah, I think the major thing that I really take away from what he's doing is like 75% of his talent that he has down there are people who have less than like 3 years of experience. Yeah. And he's making them into stars like with Jada Parker, like Lola Vice, Kehlani Jordan.
How did I forget them?
Yeah.
I don't know how you forgot them. Oh,
stacks on stacks. Oh my gosh.
He's making them look like they're like stars, and he just hiding their weaknesses. But then once you throw in like the heavy hitters who they got coming, who have like, you know, years and years of experience, that kind of just rounds it out. And on top of that, we didn't even mention Roxanne Perez, the champion. Like, she been killing it. Like she's been like the head and shoulders, like the biggest thing on that roster right now. So just having like all that coming together has been like a big deal for them.
I think having athletes come in so they already have that mentality and you're teaching them acting is easier than teaching the sport, the athleticism, and the, I don't want to say acting. What's the entertainment value of it? Because them athletes have that mental where I'm not going to be beat, and whatever this is not going to beat me. So if they have that athleticism, it's already half there, and them bodies be ready. Anyway, sorry. Jesus.
Oh, you all right?
Yeah, I was thinking about Jakar and then Lash and then okay, sorry.
Nikki Kinks.
Hey, call me what you will. They can take me up the top rope. Anyway,
Oh yeah, and I forgot the fifth is Jordan Grace. That's I couldn't
Yeah.
remember who the
And
fifth
adding
person
Jordan
was.
Grace is like she's a heavy hitter. You're like,
literally,
Bro,
yeah, literally, yeah. So
she
all of them coming
she
together.
gonna leave TNA.
Oh, I thought, and her
oh
contract
yeah.
about to be up, like I think at the end of the year. So it's about to
Speaking
happen.
of
Oh,
contracts being up, did you know Dustin Rhodes' contract is up?
hey,
Yeah,
he
but
go
he
ahead.
old. I don't know what he about to do.
Hey man, dog. Hey, he could find a role in the company. You know what I mean? Doing some small spots here and there.
He can still go a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it, but he need to sit it down, dog.
He need to bring Goldust back.
Hey, that would be crazy. One last Goldust run with R-Truth.
Bro, the
With
golden truth.
hey, a Goldust run with R-Truth helping him against Miz and Carrion as like a special guest, a one-time match on a Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Hey, hey,
I'm in for that.
hey, man. There's a spot for everybody, man. Everybody can't be the main event. You know what I mean?
Hey, Dustin, your father will want you to retire, so retire.
You telling them to take his ball and go home?
They gotta leave
Yes.
the American Dream out of their promos. Like I'm sick of hearing about Cody's dad.
Yeah.
Bro, like, all right,
Here he go. See, I forgot about.
all right. So look, right. So
You got 2 minutes.
all right, okay. I don't even need that long. Like,
That's what she said.
hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if you're good at something, man, it don't take all night to get it done. But like, if you think about it, the only major points about Cody Rhodes is his tie to the bloodline and
I
his
think this is
father.
a Cody hate dialogue.
But also, but see, like, I ain't want to shit on it because I'm excited that they're bringing him into another story. Like, get him away from the Samoans. Like,
ASAP. I want that done.
Get him away from being the the American Dream son. Like, now I think I can kind of get invested in what he's doing because he's like, Kevin Owens hates his guts. Like, like, you supposed to be my man's, and you siding with this dude hit me with a car. Like, he tried to kill me, and like, and you like, you gonna help him out? Like, bro, like, come on, dog. Like, I ain't letting that slide. You know what I mean? Like, so Kevin Owens has a legitimate gripe, and I love that what they're feuding over isn't the title. It's like, it's morals. Like,
It's
dog,
personal. Yeah.
I had your back like when nobody had your back. Like, these dudes beat the hell out of me because I was affiliated with you, and then this guy comes back and like, you have a change of heart, and it's just like, oh, fuck me. Nah, man. Like, I love that story.
Yeah. I think that's a good one, especially with the history that KO has had with the bloodline for like the last 4 years. Like,
Yep.
battling with them like a lot, probably way too much. But this like new caveat of him being mad that Cody sided with Roman is like, I can really get behind that because that's a real emotion. Like, yo, you betrayed me by like aligning with my mortal enemy. Like,
These niggas whoop my ass.
now you're my enemy. So I get it.
The enemy of my enemy. No, it's the friend of my friend is my enemy, or something like that. But as we close out, I forgot to ask you guys earlier. Who?
Yeah, you got that all the way mixed up.
Yeah,
listen.
It was the enemy of my enemy is my friend or some shit like that.
Right. So you ain't got no friends. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I fucked it up. I know, shit happens. Who? Because I got an answer I can't wait to give. Who has been your superstar since the last episode?
All right, I got something. All right, I'm gonna just say this.
Go ahead.
I was very excited for the War Raiders to come back.
And the fact they're the War Raiders again.
Yeah.
As they should, but they changed it for a reason. There was, in the very beginning, they changed their name because of like stuff happening in real life.
They were the Viking experience and the Viking Raiders.
Oh, Viking.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but the reason they weren't the War Raiders when they came up was because I guess there was some like political stuff going on with the wars. But I like that.
But ever since they came back, they got me excited about the tag division, like more than DIY or Machine Guns. Like having the War Raiders back.
I could have took that from taking them from the bloodline because they seem
Yeah.
like formidable opponents. I think a lot of that actually came from the fact that when he was by himself, he couldn't be a war raider by himself, so he had to be himself. And you
Yeah.
can't go from the biker you back to a Viking you because your brother's back. Not
Right,
possible.
right. Now, if they could just switch their names back to what they used to be instead of being Eric and Ivar, I would be 1,000% on board.
What were they at
I
first?
don't work. I
It
was
was
trying to
like
think.
Anson and Roy. It was like they real like last names.
Okay.
So if they go back to that, then I'm all the way on board. But they're probably the people that I was most excited about these last couple of weeks.
You never know. They might go back to it because, like, soon as Vince was out of there, Butch made an exit and Pete Dunne came back.
That's true. What you got, GA?
This is tough for me, man. Like, is it only on Raw or SmackDown?
Nope. Whoever, because mine is just random as hell. So, and mine low key doesn't even count. So go ahead.
So I got two.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Javon Evans and Stephanie Vaquer.
Why is that?
Shit.
Like, Javon Evans is like, he's making a really good name for himself.
Yes.
By being he's pause. Like, he's solid in the ring. He can go with any style of wrestler. They're allowing him to like be a little bit more brash in the ring now, and he's talking a little bit more shit. His anger got the best of him in their tag match this week, you know what I mean, because he wants to get his hands on Wesley, like he hates his guts. But I love what he's doing, the transitions that he has in the ring. His athleticism doesn't seem like he's setting up to do a spot. He just flows into it effortlessly. I love that. And then like, yeah, and then like if you get a chance, he did a springboard into a springboard cutter in their match last week.
And speaking of that, and that's what
let me just add one thing. That match also made me remember how great Cedric Alexander could be.
Bro, yes.
He was killing it, dog.
Yes.
They need to
I'm glad you commented, Rashad, because that match wasn't too flippy for you.
It was very flippy, but at the same time, Cedric Alexander was like, yo, I'm gonna like slam people on their head and give them backbreakers and all that type of stuff. Which I
just had to, because we haven't discussed it yet, and I saw that. I said, I can't wait to talk to Shad about it. Okay, you got it. And you said Vaquer
and Stephanie Vaquer. Like, I mean, just like her presentation, her move set is like so fucking grimy, dog. Like, she just flow in and out of moves, dog, and it looked like she trying to like hurt somebody in there. Like, she has mastered the art of making every move look like I'm really trying to like do damage. And like, just her look is just like, it looked like she doesn't have a soul behind her eyes.
So does Stephanie Vaquer take the place of, and I can't think of Valkyria in that? Like, I feel like Lyra Valkyria. Like, I feel like that didn't pan out when she went to the main roster, but I feel like that is the same type of energy that I
don't know, dog. Like I think it's dope that Stephanie Vaquer's like first language isn't English, and it's keeping her from having to do a lot of talking. So she has a lot of mystique around her. Even more so than Julia. Like, I love Julia, but like once Stephanie Vaquer got on the screen, you could tell there's a difference.
It's different.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that aura is different. That presentation is different.
I want to watch their matches. You're right.
Yeah, and her moveset is crazy. Even the lustfully, I love that joint she does when she just like bangs chicks' heads in the ground with her ass. But the way that she gets into that move,
and I'm the kink one. I'm the kink one.
Hey man, hey,
y'all the kinky brothers, yeah.
Dude, Cass. But like, even the way that she transitions into that, like, that's believable that could really hurt somebody. Like, you slamming somebody's face into the mat like over and over and over and over. But yeah, man, like, I think she's gonna be like the future at the top of that card. And I think it's dope that they're keeping her away from the title. Because they develop new stories like for her to get involved in. So those are my two.
Okay. Mine, I told you, has absolutely nothing to do with nothing, but I just wanted to talk about it really quickly.
Paul Ellery?
hey, he took a bump. Mine was Seth Rollins taking his coat off to have the same coat underneath. In the moment, I thought he just took his sleeves off until I watched it back. I was like, wait, he took one coat off and had the very same coat on.
Hey,
But then my secondary one was Big Bronson Reed taking that
yo,
stomp on the car, dying, and then going. It was like a Godzilla moment where it's like, I'm back. Those are my two.
yo. I think they're not to get into Crown Jewel because their matches at Crown, right?
It's to
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe so.
I think Bronson Reed's gonna rip this nigga apart.
That's
He's
really what I
going to.
want to see. Like, that's probably the only
Yes.
match I really care about. Like, I really want to see what happens with that.
All right, one last thing. Has Seth reached the level where he's just putting over talent now?
I think it's a little of both.
Okay.
I think he can still be a major player at the top of the card, and I think he will be back at the top of the card. But him being able to get involved in somebody that was a hinge mid card guy, like that makes him look better because he's creating more people he can feud with when he's at the top of the card.
Okay.
So I did.
I still want Bronson Reed to get better attire, but what you think, Shad? And then I'll be back every day.
Yeah, I think as far as Seth, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Seth is at that point where he's more so looking at the major matches instead of week to week storylines, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like when I look at Seth, I'm like, all right, I would love to see what him and Punk is going to do. I'm interested to see what him and Cody's going to do whenever they link back up. Like, I don't really care about him doing a little 4-week run with somebody random or whatever like that. I feel like he's now where a lot of other established people are. Like, I think Charlotte is at that point where I don't really care to see her there every week, but if she's building up to a match with like Bianca or Rhea or Jade or something like that, I'll be all in for that. But just the week to week fighting fighting a couple times a week, I'm not down for that. So I feel like Seth is kind of at that point too.
I hate Charlotte. I hate Charlotte like he hates Cody.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got. Anybody else?
I think I'm good, man.
Tell them where they can find you, Shad, since somebody's thirsty.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Mr.
Hey.
Big Gulp over there.
Whoa, that might be the new title.
That's the new title.
Oh shit. Oh my god!
Oh,
let me put that in the chat, man. Like,
yeah, let's not forget that one.
you spitting gold today, bro.
No. But yeah, you can find me everywhere at Shot Harris. Yeah, you can find me everywhere. I don't really be up there that much anymore, but I'm still around, so you know where to find me at.
You can find me at the next BFAB and Lash Legend fan club meeting. But you can find me on Instagram at It's Zach Morris, all one word, spelled regular. And you can find me here on the Kayfabe Cowboys podcast. And you can check us out on Twitter at Kayfabe Cowboys, as well as Instagram, as well as your YouTube machine. So like and subscribe. Like we doing big things, man. Black guys, we love wrestling.
You can find me at IamLegend_716 on the TikToker, which I just had a video hit 50,000 views, so I'm kind of famous right now.
Okay.
I think people still on TikTok. Oh, not. I was thinking Twitter. Never mind. Go ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
no, it's just porn on Twitter for the most part.
Yeah,
don't ask me how I know. But yeah, you can find me on X, because it's not Twitter. We got to call it X, I think.
Man, that shit always gonna be Twitter to
Oh,
me.
it's going to be Twitter.
Mama
Twitter,
call him Clay. I'ma call him Clay.
Twitter, Instagram, IamLegend_716, Kayfabe Cowboys, all over.
All right, Jared,
Yeah.
go ahead and close us out, Big Dog.
All right, so
Big
until the you motherfucker. Until the next time, like, we will be black men watching wrestling. We will come back and possibly be upset next week because there's going to be some bullshit that happens. Shad is the resident angry man, so I'd imagine he's going to be upset about something over the weekend. But until then, man, watch wrestling, drink good drinks, be safe, and we'll be back. 1, 2, 3. It's a wrap.